What's going on, guys? I want to welcome you back. Listen, 17,655 hours is how long it's been since Captain America has completely sucked in Marvel Snap, and coincidentally, that's when the game came out. Steve Rogers, head of the Avengers, probably one of the most notorious heroes characters in all of the IP. Complete dog water, right? Let's you and I take a stroll through the past. Do you think other cards that are iconic need the change, like Captain America?
Patience.
Nobody's playing him, and that's a disservice to Captain America.
Patience.
And I also thought Captain America was also going to get buffed, but I guess that's for another day.
Patience.
Punisher and Captain America, it's still a crime. Both of these guys are not good.
Patience.
Captain America, right? Courageous, iconic, role model, inspiring, maybe handsome. Well, I found out. Ignore these words, by the way, that I used to describe him in Marvel Snap. Well, that changes today, ladies and gentlemen. Say goodbye to Captain Suck and hello to America's ass.
That is America's ass.
Listen, Captain America may not be the best character in the game or best card in the game by a far stretch. In fact, he doesn't even have a home in every deck. But today, we did find his team. Introducing his new team in today's deck, Captain Ongoing. All right, guys, so we're going to do things a little bit differently this time and go right into the deck and explain the different flexible options and what all you guys can plug and play to make the deck successful for you. And then we're going to talk about the individual cards and the roles that they play. Now, it's important to note this is my build of the deck, but there are so many different builds that you can have that are successful. Don't concentrate on one card. All the essential cards are free-to-play cards, so you don't have to worry there. And just make it a deck that you want to play and that you feel confident playing is the ultimate key. So in my build of Captain Ongoing, I've chosen the route of a ton of buff cards, and we're kind of taking it way back to the Glory Destroyer days. You can Spectrum, or you can play Destroyer, and it's all wrapped up into a nice bow of Professor X and Omega Red. Now, this deck is going to act similar to the Spectrum decks that have been doing pretty well in the meta, but we have a lot of cards and a ton of potential in early game setup for late game satisfaction. Now, obviously, my main goal here is to be using cards like Ant-Man, Mojo, Armor, and our cheap cost cards, which coincidentally, we don't have a lot of in this specific build. And then we're going to set up into a Jean Grey lane. Our options here depend on who you're playing and your skill and knowledge in Marvel Snap. If you know they're going to play an on-reveal card like a bounce deck, just slam on the Cosmo on the Jean Grey lane and you're pretty much good to go. If you think you need to go for more power, then you can simply play Captain America, Punisher together. You can play all this combined with the Mojo and Ant-Man, or just simply play Armor to set up some of our late game plays as well. For the most part, if you get Ant-Man, Mojo, Cosmo, Omega Red, or Ant-Man, Mojo, Captain America, Omega Red, a lot of those options, you're going to win that lane. They're scared you're going to Spectrum half the time anyway, and with Armor and Professor X, this allows us to play Destroyer if we need to go super vertical in a lane that your opponent thinks they won. We have great control in the deck with Armor, Cosmo, Jean Grey, and Professor X, and fantastic finishers like Omega Red, Spectrum, and Destroyer. A lot of the times in games, you guys are going to see your opponent has one lane by about 12, another by, let's say, 6 points ahead of you, and then you're winning the ongoing lane. Well, 9 times out of 10, your opponent is going to play into the lane that they're not ahead by 13, because they think you're going to be scared to play in that lane. Well, you've got Destroyer, and that's going to win that lane, and then you'll win the ongoing lane without destroying your cards, because it's got the Armor or Professor X as a finish. Some other cheeky moves you can do is play Omega Red followed by Professor X, and then boost that up with Spectrum to guarantee even more spread out power. You can play Professor X in a YOLO solo lane and then, boost him up later if you need to. Seriously, guys, the games we have for you today is going to showcase this deck to the fullest and really just sell it. I had an insane run with this, like so much so that I just put the first games I was playing as today's roll of battles, and super excited to dive into that. Now, when it comes to the flex options, we do have a lot here, and we're going to talk about the different ongoing cards that you can plug in. But most notably, I would say probably, even though it is a showcase for him, you can swap out Captain America. You can swap out Punisher. U.S. Agent is by far in this specific build the most flexible to get out of here. I've got him in there because I need a low-cost ongoing card that feels good to play. But most of the time, if people do include U.S. Agent, they're going to be going for something more like this, where you've got the U.S. Agent with Man-Thing and Luke Cage. With Captain America already buffing up power, I decided to go more of the buff route rather than the inflicting negative points route. Again, either or playstyle can work. And after we go through all the ongoing cards, I'll go ahead and show you a few examples of different builds you guys can put together depending on your own collection. So let's go ahead and take it a step further and explain why you want to play most of these cards and or the role they play within the ongoing deck so that you can build your own like we talked about before. So what we've got here, let's first talk about the lane winners, right? You're going to be setting up different cards into a lane, and a lot of these cards can spike up in tremendous power to typically take the win and get the lane at least, and then you can win another lane with some other method. Now, Captain America, that's his new role within these ongoing decks. We've already had cards, surprisingly a good amount. Iron Man is clearly a card that you've seen a lot within not only ongoing decks, but just any deck. He's a lane winner by himself. We're not going to be playing too much Iron Man today, but that is his role. Other than that, Mojo has been a tremendous card to throw into these builds. He's like an insurance policy that even if your opponent can play a card there, you're going to spike up with the Mojo and feel pretty good about it. And then to some extent, you also have Punisher that's kind of been fulfilling this role as well. So you have got the lane winners, but then we also have the control cards. And that's why this deck is so damn good. We have a lot of different cards with an immense amount of control. So obviously my favorite right now, the good dog Cosmo, is phenomenal, and why I think this deck is at its peak of playing. Because bounce is going to be everywhere. Werewolf by Night was going to be my first video. We don't need it, but we've got Cosmo here to shut that down immediately. Shut down the decks like hella. Destroy the ones that want to get something popping off with on reveal. Very popular now that Leech has been tamed. Cosmo says nope and shuts it down pretty easily, and it's hard to win a lane when you can't have on reveal to kind of heighten the power. Now, outside of that, we all go through Jean Grey. This is probably one of the most fundamental cards in the deck build, because we have so many other cards that capitalize off forcing your opponent to play in one lane. Great example again, Werewolf by Night. He's everywhere. They can't play him if they have to play in one single lane. So Jean Grey is going to be a huge card to be playing our lane winners into, and our other control cards like Cosmo and like Professor X. Now, not a lot of people are playing Pro X unless you're playing Cannonball, but what I like about him is you're able to capitalize off the other cards' extension and power to make sure you either win this lane or another lane. Or you can play Jean Grey, fill up the lane early, and then go Pro X as I talked about before. There's a lot of different examples of him, but he's obviously another control card. Now, lastly, on control, not as much these days, but armor not only is just great because it's cheap, we can boost that up later, and it's a good on-curve play, but also this just shuts down Destroy as a single-handed archetype. It allows you to go into more locations and just protect yourself overall from the Shang-Chi's of the world, especially if you boost up some power, right? So these are our control cards. We have our lane winners. What else do we got? Outside of those, we just have you got to be playing these cards. They're too good. They have too much of an irreplaceable role in the deck, and that starts with Ant-Man, an easy 1/5, possible 1/7 with Captain America or Spectrum, or a 1/9 if you have them both. If you ask me, a 1/9 is pretty stupid for a 1-cost card, and Ant-Man can fulfill that. Outside of that, I also think Omega Red is pretty much essential in these deck builds these days. It's pretty easy to win the ongoing lane, and so having him naturally in there with the Mojo, with the Ant-Man, and then you have the Spectrum pop-off, you're going to get an easy +3 power and just put that much more pressure on your opponent. Now, you can swap paths completely and go with the Affliction route, which is where we're going to see things like U.S. Agent, tremendous value for a card now that he got buffed. We can play Luke Cage and Man-Thing. All these are usually what has been considered the meta in these Spectrum builds, and I still like it a lot, but I have to say, the nerf here to Luke Cage, it just makes things a little more wonky. Still a very good option to go with, but that's kind of the negative route, and with Captain America, I'm going the buff route. But we'll talk about the deck here. It's still stupid good. And mainly the reason why it's stupid good, guys, is because Man-Thing is such a punishing card. The reason I don't like it is if you don't get Luke Cage, things can get a little bit awkward. I'm still playing U.S. Agent in my deck without Luke Cage. I think it's pretty safe for the most part because I don't have a lot of high-cost cards. But definitely, if you want to go the Affliction route, you got to go with that kind of set package. We've got some other great cards, like the Grandma Miss Marvel with a gun. This one cracks me up. But we've got cards like Miss Marvel as well. Just a good value card. Doesn't exactly work in the builds that we created today, but just you can make it work. It's not that hard to get to pull off. But Miss Marvel and more importantly, Claw, who recently got buffed up. Both these cards, really strong ongoing cards that you can flex into your ongoing decks if you want to go that route. You're not going to have a hard time finding high cost, solid ongoing cards. It's mainly the low cost ones, right? So it's the Howard the Duck that you're trying to make work, or the Lizard when there's a downside. There can be things that are wrong with that. And so kind of the core ones that we have in today are the mainstays, but you do have your options. Now, finally, guys, we end with the last plays of the game, right? Typically, you're almost never playing simply 3-cost cards. Sometimes you don't draw right, and you'll need to play like Captain America and Punisher on turn 6. But most of the time, we're looking to play Spectrum, who just lost a power point. Doesn't matter. She doesn't really care. Or if you want to be really cheeky, you can also go with Onslaught. Onslaught isn't going to be in our decks today, but he makes Captain America just completely busted. But Spectrum is just kind of the catch-all card just by her existence. Most of the time, people are going to be so fearful that you're going to play Spectrum, they avoid that lane altogether, and that's when we hit them with the big tuna. I got to go to it. It's going to take me a second. The big tuna. Destroyer is awesome, okay? Now, he's risky. People don't love him, but we have armor. We have Cosmo. We have a lot of ways to negate his obviously horrible effect, but he's just a surprising card. People don't expect him. On top of that, Junk's pretty popular, and if you want to get rid of all that, you can quite easily. Now, lastly, what's nice about all this with Spectrum is things like White Widow are very popular, but that Widow's Kiss is pretty easy to buff up because it's an ongoing card. And so there's not a lot that's doing great against this deck outside of maybe a Super Scroll, but you can play your own. There's a lot of fun to be had here, but either way, these are like the main ongoing cards within the archetype. So lastly, guys, I'm just going to show a couple decks on screen. This is going to be more of that Man-Thing toxic deck. If you want to go this route, it's just a proven successor at this point. This was, some of the stats were before the Luke Cage nerf, but this is still going to be a very solid build. So you've got those two, and then you've got, of course, the deck today in Captain Ongoing. And again, I'm going to show some gameplay. It's just great. You can go with a Destroyer finish. You can go with the Spectrum finish. No matter which way you go about it, it's going to have a good chance to win a game because it's surprising and it's tough to beat, and just the power burst that it has at the end of the game. We have some awesome battles to showcase this. Let's go ahead and hop on in. All right, we got our hand for Captain Ongoing, and we have Captain America, Punisher, Spectrum, and Cosmo. Now, this version of the deck doesn't have a lot of low-cost cards in it, but that's okay. We've got the surprise factor of Destroyer, and with Bar Sinister here, we can get major pop-off with our Spectrum. Now, we're playing a balanced deck for sure, so we need to be somewhat careful. The way that Krakoa is going to work out is kind of awkward, but we're going to go ahead and play Mojo right side. We love the Nightcrawler now. That's going to really help us out because he's going to have a hard time not filling in lanes. And we have not used Bar Sinister. Mojo could have been a good card in Bar Sinister, but for now, we're going to put some pressure on this right side. We lose Cosmo, our Iceman card. He loses Echo. We're feeling actually kind of pretty damn confident now. And we can do Captain America, and they all buff each other. This is nasty. We can do that later rather than now. We can go with Punisher now. We can add 3 to the top of the deck, which might be worth doing right this second. A couple of options here. I think we're going to go with Punisher now. It's kind of weird, but the 3+ power is probably our best chance to get power added to the deck. And we have our Jean Grey. Super awkward hands, as you guys can tell, but let's go to play Jean Grey right here in our Mojo lane. Now with that, we've got that laid out. We love it. And we are about to snap. We feel really strong about our plays here. So we're going to go ahead and play Jean Grey, Ant-Man, and snap it up. Okay, so he's moving some Nightcrawlers. He's playing yet another card, maybe another movement piece. And we get Cerebro too. Okay, I like it. I was tempted to play Cerebro myself. So I love this play line here. So he goes double Cerebro, triple Cerebro. And we're going to have a lot to deal with. Let's go ahead and we'll hit him with the Captain America now. Not much we can do from that standpoint. A lot of power, though, here, and he's got to play there.
Avengers! Assemble.
Okay, we're at 23. He has to play another card to get our Mojo up, and we're going to boost him with our Spectrum. And This alone should do it, right? Because he's probably going to move a Nightcrawler right side and then play something somewhere else. I don't think he can beat this play, though. I don't think he's expecting the 4 Spectrums. Or maybe he is. But he's simply not going to have enough to do it. He does set us back a little bit.
Wind, aid my hand.
Yeah, this is disgusting. This is an absolute disgusting play line. I mean,
Knowledge
Bar Sinister Cerebro is one of the scariest Cerebros locations in the game. But what's
Knowledge
scarier than that
is
is a freaking Spectrum
Knowledge
pop-off
is power.
4 times.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, 57 ought to do it. So good stuff there. Solid, surprising win. And didn't really have to do a lot. And played super awkwardly with the Punisher. All right, we have Undead King. We have Titan and Jean Grey Destroyer, Captain America, and U.S. Agent. That's what we're looking at as we start off this wonderful game of Marvel Snap. Love the hand. Love the Jean Grey with U.S. Agent. We have a Nebula. Could be any deck. Could be kind of similar to our build here. Baxter building is sweet. Just what we're trying to accomplish with the deck. It's a great time here. We're probably going to go armor because of our Destroyer in hand as it is. We're playing a similar deck, so this will be interesting. Can we just beat a deck at its own game, right? Odds are he might go Jean Grey, but... Okay, he lucked out there on the right side a ton, but we'll be fine. We can go Jean Grey now, but he's probably going to do that. Let's go Captain America.
Avengers!
My hope is that he plays Jean Grey. Okay, he goes Cosmo. Okay, our Destroyer is just booming at this point. I think we can get away with... Well, we'll go Jean just because it's our best play. But I'm thinking we can get away with playing Pro X left side here. Omega Red. Yeah, we're not losing that lane. We both have to play here right now. Obviously, Spectrum could be played. We could go Destroyer as well. Like, this is both of ours last play. And I think this is enough to win this. I mean, hold on. We just simply have more power than he has, right? Like, almost no matter what. He might do the Spectrum play. We're going to snap on this. We're going to play Destroyer middle and make sure he doesn't win Baxter building. And then we'll have a +4 advantage on that. Even if he can Cosmo into this, I don't think it's going to be enough. We're putting so much power with one Destroyer here. Bam.
Avengers!
Yeah. Steve Rogers isn't doing crap against the Destroyer. So we have... Yeah, dude, I'd be shocked too. So we have a pretty good head start here. There's not a lot of ways that he could catch up. In theory, all we should have to do is just play our own Spectrum. He could have a 1 cost and it could hurt us, but that keeps us ahead of his lane. And if we're both just playing Spectrum, we would just win this.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power.
Cool. So did exactly what we thought we needed to do there. That's where I love the Destroyer play with Spectrum. You have the either or. I think a lot of people are going to shy away from Destroyer, but I think he has a lot of impact in this specific deck. All right, we have Hash Beard, and we have a pretty bad opening hand and a Tillian. Not thrilled about that, and we have Iceman coming out. Expected a lot of balance, but this deck's pretty good against it. We love Sinister London here with 2 potential Spectrums. We're going to play that down now. Woof. That's hard. Okay. This could be a tough one to beat, guys, especially with our curve play. We need... Well, we can play anything we draw here. Just... Well, that's awesome. Okay, that worked out for us. Jean Grey now. If we Jean now... I'm thinking we go Jean left side. Instead of 2 of them. If we do 2 of them, we have a chance to go into that lane, which I don't hate because of the Spectrum. Kind of awkward in the play lines. Let's go Jean left here. Another Cerebro 2 gamer. He looked out and it did not go to Oscorp, but that's okay. Okay, so the cool thing is we're also swapping priority, which is going to allow us to Cosmo anything that he's going to play left side over here. And it allows us to fill out this lane, and then we can Pro X and do 2 things at once, which is disgusting. We need this Ant-Man to kind of go left side here, if I'm being honest. We don't have our Pro X because of everything that happened. It might be better to go Ant-Man here, then Cosmo. We force him to play here, but I just feel like this Cosmo is going to be detrimental to this guy. It ruins our spectrum, but so be it. I think that's the way. I mean, it's tough. It's like, do we want to go disruption or points? I'm going back and forth. I'm actually going to go on points for now. Let's play this out. Okay, Storm, we shut that down, so he's feeling okay. He has to still play there. If we had Pro X, this would have been game, set, match, but we don't. Do I mine these two? We've got a lot happening here. Mojo's a decent pull. I think we're going to go with Captain America and U.S. Agent, and we're going to hope we get a really good card. I think if we just snap here, we should be able to win, though. So I think I'm going to snap. Oh, he's snapping. Outside of Professor X, any other card we get, I like. Even Omega Red's a little dicey, but he's going to go Blue Marvel here. We're not going to snap. Let's see what we can do.
Assemble.
Shadow King, we have Cosmo. He plays Negasonic. That we don't care because ours can't get destroyed. Yeah, this is it. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Okay. So this is going to swing us a lot. A ton. It should win it for us. That Negasonic's worthless. He snapped last turn. I almost did. If I snap now, he might leave. We get a free 2. We're going to play for 4 so he doesn't leave. This should be an easy 8, though. It's going to be very hard for this guy to beat us. If you were me here, snap. We're going to play through so that he doesn't leave or whatever, even though he already snapped. He might leave anyway. Ashbeard, you snap. You got to play it through. He is playing it through. He goes Blue Marvel. The Blue Marvel. What's not going to beat that is a Spectrum. Oh my gosh, look at this massive power. To a Spectrum. Beautiful, beautiful stat lines across the board. He has double Blue Marvels, not enough to win. Should have snapped the turn earlier. You guys could have snapped in my position to get the 2 or go to the 8. Either way, big one. All right, we have Mojo, Jean Grey, Punisher, Cosmo. We'll end the turn here. Nothing to do. No early cheap cards that we have. We have Hellfire Club and Mojo. Let's see. We probably don't want to play Mojo middle. I don't mind right side. We're going to be Jean Greying anyway, so we can get rid of Atlantis' bonus. We'll go left side. I think that's fine. A little bit of me wants to play Pro X over there. Let's go with this left side play here. All right, turn 3. I'm almost tempted to snap. We have a lot of what we need. District X definitely makes things a little scary. But fortunate for us, we got a Punisher. He's snapping, okay. I mean, we've got a lot of what we need to win this. We need a cheap card is what we need. Werewolf by Night. Yeah, our Jean Grey is going to mess that up pretty massively. There's the cheap card that we wanted. So ask and you shall receive. We can Cosmo here to completely ruin this guy's werewolf. We're going to play Martyr there, probably. Because that lets us play Pro X in our own lane or wherever we want to. We could Pro X on that werewolf, which is devastating. Keep in mind, Martyr's going to try to lose us the game. Okay, Dakin does not work. He retreated. We got a 4-cuber.
Victory.
All right, we're going to keep that in. That's too good. Champion of Light, hello. Mindscape is possibly one of the worst locations for us just because of our finishers, but we're going to fight through it for now. Savage Land is pretty good with the cards that we do have. Punisher, Mojo, so we're not mad about that. Weird place to play White Widow. And Morag. All right, got a lot happening here, guys. That's the understatement of the year. We can boost up the Widow's Kiss if somehow Mindscape goes to hell. We both should be filling up this left lane a ton. We get max value out of Punisher in the in this middle location, but I'm thinking I might play something else there. All right, let's go and play Punisher left side. Ooh, we got the Jean Grey. For sure, we're going to go Jean into Ant-Man here. And we have a couple ways we can finish this off. We can go Pro X left side, which is going to really make this awkward for this guy. The thing that sucks is I wish I could go Pro X here, Destroyer, 16 power play in the middle, but we can't do that. Omega Red is super tempting to play here. We just have so much power going for us. It's going to be almost impossible for that guy to catch up. Pro X makes it where he has to like move the Jeff to Morag and then play something in the middle here. Not our best play, and he could do a couple things. Because he's getting a Destroyer, we can't play Pro X. So we're going to go with Omega Red left side. I think this puts plenty of pressure on the guy. He has his own Professor X, so him getting Destroyer here is actually massive. Yeah, the Destroyer plays is literally actually insane. Little awkward on what we can pull off here. I think our best play, it's not even that good, but I think our best play is something like this. We can't do Shang-Chi because we have priority. We should win left side. This plays 6. It just depends. We know what we gave him. Like, the Destroyer is not going to be a great play. Spectrum, we would tie here. This is going to be interesting. He's out of here. Yeah, we know the cards he had, so he had no way he can move the Jet, but that Omega Red really helped us out. Okay, we have Detox here. We have the 2 Shields and Jean Grey, which we like. Jean Grey's a little awkward with Asteroid M, but we'll figure it out. Nebula. Savage Land again. We like Savage for us. We're not mad about that. We do have U.S. Agent now. I think we're going to go Armor left side here. Jeff. Oscorp's huge. It forces him to move the Jeff, which means we can snap now. We don't have priority. We're going to go with Jean probably now. And then we're, depending on what deck we identify he's playing, it could be anything right now. He's got a lot of plug and play. We're going to go Cosmo or Mojo. Storm.
My hand.
Okay, pretty clutch play there. Although his Storm came to us. That's awesome. We both have to play left side now, which is kind of favoring him a bit. However, we can at least match that power if we split up. Like, we can go Mojo here into U.S. Agent, and that at least helps us out a tad bit. And we can boost that up later with Spectrum if we need the extra power pop off. I think this is probably our best play. A strong guy. Oh, my God. What's this guy doing? What shenanigans in this economy? Okay, so we can play Pro X now, and that... I think, is that our best play? Like, this guy goes up how much? He goes up 6? Good God. He has to play there right now, so our Mojo's going to go up. So even if this goes up 6 with the Spectrum pop, I think I like it. He can't buff that up anymore. I think I like that. Obviously, our Captain America's freaking huge there, but I would rather just... I think I'd just rather close this up. If I had a 2 cost, I'd play Captain in the 2, but instead we're going to play the 5 with Spectrum. I think it might be a retreat too. We'll see. So we do this. Wow. Now what's awesome is U.S. Agent just clutched that massively. He's got to leave, right? So this is going to help us win this. This could go up by 6, which is 15 to 16. So we're still winning that, but his Nebula goes up 2. So this is going to help us tremendously. And it's going to boost this up to 5 over that. And we can tin the middle lane. This is a win-win-win. I love this play line here. He's out of here. Beautiful. This deck is insanely slapping, even with this build that was more of like just like I wanted to go back to the roots. All right, LeCarp, we have Ant-Man, Omega Red, Captain America, Punisher. Love to see it. We'll go Ant-Man here in the dead middle. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in one of the few locations that could. Yeah, we love that. And we got our Cosmo. So things are looking good so far. No 2-drop. We had 3 to get, but that's okay. Ravonna Renslayer. Woof. And Nor Dimension. All right. Nor Dimension, I think we'll play here on this right side. I know we have Ant-Man middle. I think we're going to be able to max that out. I don't know. We could also go here because we don't really care about ramping. Maybe we'll go Jean Grey. We try to hold this guy from Nor Dimension, although he's going to get 2 of these things. Yeah. Oh, this could be tough because he's going to get 2 of these gens here. Or, okay, what is happening? All right. Kind of weird, but whatever. We have this to deal with Iron Man if we see that come up. And we do have our Captain America now, too. We're going to go with... Cosmo doesn't do much. I think we go Mojo here into U.S. Agent. And we'll go left side here. White Tiger. Okay, we don't want the right lane anyway. There's our armor, so if we get, I don't know, Destroyer next turn, we win. Let me think here, guys. Let's see what we got. This is where the Cosmo has mega value. We play that Cosmo into this armor lane over here. You know, I think this is pretty good. We should be able to stop any shenanigans that this guy does with this Cosmo play. I think if he has a White Tiger in the deck, he's definitely going with, you know, on reveal stuff. Cosmo. What'd you play, champ? What did you play? Nocturne? Ooh. Jin? What do we get here? This is a big card pull, just not Punisher, yeah? Pro X. Kind of scared to win. You know, if he moves this, like, this Mojo protects us a good amount. This is also pretty solid. We're adding a lot of power points here. I think he could beat this, though, is my concern, but this isn't the most comfortable 8-cuber. We got screwed on a lot of the cards that we need, although I do feel like we should be okay with this. We have a lot of protection here. Because if he goes Nocturne left...
Avengers!
Yeah, so we're just going to have to see what he ends up playing here. He goes Captain Marvel... Yeah, we win no matter what. That was definitely scary. I wasn't enthralled with the last play line we had, but we had the insurance and Mojo. Cosmo protects us from any BS there, and we end up getting a win against a, you know, kind of a custom build, I guess. Okay, all right. We'll take a Hell's Kitchen to open up with an Ant-Man. We love to see it. We have a Destroy Gamer. Do we snap on this now? I think so. I mean, come on. This guy's got to know what's about to happen. He does have priority, so if this man... Oh, no, we have priority, so we're definitely snapping here. We go armor here. I mean, this guy's got it. It's the writing's on the wall, bud. You see an Ant-Man, you got to know. This guy will never forget. If he sees an Ant-Man, he'll never stick through a snap again. Hey, I hope you like a 4-power Deadpool. That's as big as he's getting. All right, so we can not worry about that now, and to make things even worse for the guy, we'll go ahead and throw Jean Grey into this side. See how fast we can make him quit out of the game. Jean Grey, he's forced to play in that location now. Have fun with that. Shall we continue to make it toxic? I think so. We'll go Punisher now, and then we're going to go Pro X into probably this right lane. Or the middle, whatever. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, dude, this guy's in for a bad time. We can do a few things here. We go like, you know, U.S. Agent and Captain America. Then we can Spectrum that out. This just simply a right, like this is just tough. This would ruin any type of like destroy synergy he wants to have. I think we're going to Gamba here a little bit. And we're going to play Pro X right side here. It's ours. I hope that goes left. Okay, goes back in the middle. So, we've already won the right side. We can play Destroyer for, like, massive power if we want to go that route. Or do a billion of other things. I think what we're probably going to do, though, is just play Spectrum. Looking at our options here, probably our best play line. There's actually a lot we can do here. We can just do that. And this won't kill one single card. We could play, like, we could move our weaker card and then play Omega Red left side just to add even more fear fuel to the fire. This is probably our best play line as it bumps up just about everything. Even if he plays, you know, a death here to 19, we're going to win that. We've already won the right side. There's just nothing he can do. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He hasn't destroyed enough, so it doesn't matter what that card is. There you go. It doesn't get much easier than that, guys. Does not get much easier.
Victory.
If you're a destroy player and you get armored on the second turn of the game, you can get the hell out. All right, guys, we got Muir Island in a pretty solid starting hand. No Ant-Man on curve. We haven't really had that today, but that's a risk we do run with the deck. Sakaar is fine no matter what, even with Destroyer. We're going to go armor left side here. Brood, we got a Destroyer. We're obviously thrilled about that. Probably going to snap into that. Let's play Jean Grey left side. We'll see if they're silly enough to stay in this game. We have ourselves a pretty good advantage. We have our best card already played down. He's going to go for Asgard. That's fine. Looks like we have a Cerebro 2 gamer. Nice X-Men 97 drop. Sinister was terrifying in that show. All right, we do have our Jean Grey down now. So my guess is this being Cerebro 2, the Cosmo should shut down everything. I want to play Omega Red, but I feel like he's going to play something on reveal. It could just be Cerebro, but my gut tells me to go with the Cosmo play here.
Victory.
You gotta love the insta retreat, right? Like when they're done, like they're out of here. I don't love including these battles, but sometimes it's just like, it showcases how this deck can, in Cosmo a lot of the time, just shut it down. And that's gonna be it for today's video. A lot of different ways to play the deck. That's just how I wanted to play it, and I think you might enjoy that path. There's a ton of different counterplay in the meta that's out there right now. Everybody wants to play balance, and it's just a fun deck to play. You get to play Captain America. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and click the subscribe button. It helps a lot. There's a lot of you guys that haven't subscribed. Don't know why. I kind of get it, but also it's been a couple of years. We're just getting to 150K. You can help on the journey. Have a good one, guys. Have a great one. Till the next one. Happy snapping.